Oh, hey, what's up? Sorry for the slight delay here. Had an unexpected call from my niece, who is 5, from Australia, so had to try and squeak in as much as that as I could pre-stream. Not often we get to talk to her, so plus I also got to see my wife as she's in Quebec right now, finishing her last bit of her PhD. So just wanted to say hi to her as well. So double whammy, it was nice. So I apologize for the late start. We are here though, and we are ready for the minors draft. Just, you know, so everyone knows, you know, some really important stuff going into this is that you just gotta have fun with it. I know there's people who's recreating. I don't think this would be anyone's first time, I think this time through the minors, just due to the timing, how everything worked. But for those of you that are joining us, I mean, have fun with this. If you're new to this, don't stress about where you go. Don't stress about anything. I shouldn't say most. I'm pretty sure all the minor teams are great. They have a great core of people there, great GMs. They'll show you where to go, what to do, you know, what you need to do to accomplish. So don't stress if you don't go high. Don't stress if you go to this team or that team. I mean, really, at the end of the day, minors is about really getting your feet in the water and enjoying yourself. So just, you know, relax, chill. I mean, it's going to be the same thing for the majors, right? Draft position is meaningless, really, because besides maybe having a bit to brag the first couple seasons, once your player hits the field, maybe you got picked 72nd overall, like someone like Brent Loomy. Well, he's a Hall of Famer. What happened to everyone else in front of him? I can tell you a lot of them didn't make it. So just like, you know, let's have a good time. You know, it's a Saturday. Everyone just relax. You know, it's good vibes. Good vibes. I mean, I'm in a fairly good mood because McLaren had a really good qualifying last night. Blue Jays had an epic comeback. Unfortunately, I haven't seen what the game is at today because I was a little bit busy. I saw Texas was winning. I'm not sure how that is now, but things are going good. But without further ado, I'm assuming people are getting antsy and they want to see some picks get thrown down. I've got some blurbs here for a few of the picks from the general managers. There isn't one for every single one. Don't feel bad if there isn't. It's just, you know, I did reach out to them fairly late to ask if they had some blurbs, so that's also on me. So you can throw some tomatoes at me if you choose to. Did the Jays win again today? That is nice. I am in Jays gear from almost head to toe. I don't have Blue Jays socks. I've got shorts, a shirt, an undershirt, a hat. Whoo, baby. How is everyone? How's it going, guys? Did you have a good week? Are you hyped for the weekend? Did you guys just want to see picks happen and you just like, Rabbit, just shut up? That's okay if it's like that. We'll get right into it, though. So, here is your minors draft heading into this season. I am pretty good, DJ. Happy to get my renos done. A little bit more painting done, but yeah. I mean, I do have a camera set up, but God knows I have no idea how to use it on OBS, and you guys don't want to see my scary mug anyways. If you get drafted in Nashville, you can definitely probably hunt down some selfies if you want to really see that badly. I can hook you up with pictures of Doug and Arya if you want. But besides that, alright, we're going to get into this now, get this going. We can see how the first round is shaped up as far as the picks go. Looks like the Mingos got the first pick. We have no one doubling up in the first round. The really fun thing about the minors as well is, unlike the majors, you get a very quick turnaround. So, again, really enjoy your time in the minors. The average stint is between 2 and 4 seasons. Blink and it's over. So kind of just enjoy what it is. But because of that, we see some really great turnaround and really what should be some half-decent parity and kind of fun stuff. Because the Mingos were... Then they just won back-to-back titles a couple seasons ago, right? But now they're top of the draft because they had a bit of a rough year. I remember the Firehawks not too long ago. They were drafting at the top of the draft. So it makes it fun. It's very reminiscent of, if anyone follows hockey, kind of how the OHL works. You seem to have like a 3-4 year kind of like turnaround window. Some teams obviously do better than others on a regular basis, but at least give some variety to it, right? So it'll be fun. So are you ready? Are you guys set, ready to go? See who the Mingos are going to take first? Or you just want to listen to me talk some more? You know, the draft never happened. No? Are you ready? Okay, we'll get it going. With the first overall selection, the Mingos select Rake in the Lake. Moosey is your first overall pick. Position third base. So, for this one, we have a nice little blurb from the GM. The Flamingos are super stoked to add a high-quality user to the team with the first pick of the Season 32 Minor Leagues Draft. There were others in conversation, but after talks, Shane and Otter Moosey stood above the pack. Rake fills a major position of need for the upcoming season, and we're confident that Moosey will fit right into the Flamingo locker room. We can't wait to see what he does on the field for Florida. So, there's your first overall pick. I'm just going to say this numerous times, but please, people, at the bottom here, you can see who these renders are done by. Please, 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 please thank our graphics team for the great work that they do. These slides are phenomenal. The color swaps, great. So just props to the graphics team. Like, give yourselves a pat on the back, and let's definitely appreciate the work they did. So there's your first overall pick. Next up. Oh, my nameplate covers it? Okay, that was a midships. I'll read them off then. So, apologize. I don't mean to block them out. I'll give props where prop is due. So, credit is blocked for the overlay. I know, I'm so sorry. Bruce City Bears select Robbie Jackson, shortstop, user MOOSECOP. The Bears are extremely excited to announce the drafting of shortstop Robbie Jackson out of UCLA. He'll be able to team up with Whiskey Fuse up the middle for seasons to come, give the Bears an amazing defensive core, and help pitchers with any balls up the middle. Jackson has the range of a magician, and there are strange rumors that he isn't just a moose, but also a cop. So congratulations, MOOSECOP. This render was done by Bailey. OBX, one of the GMs there. Next up is the Lemurs. And for the third overall pick, Jethro Thull, starting pitcher, user KC15. Render was done by KHKREATOR. So congrats, KC. Get to join the Krat brothers in Louisville. Good starting pitcher there for some time. Next up, Krat. No K on that, DJ. Next up is the Kingpins with pick number 4. Pax Torrent, starting pitcher, user SkinDog44. Starting pitchers, obviously very key in the minors, so if you can get one that is even slightly active, I mean, obviously a huge boon for the team. Gonna be very big, I feel like. Next up is the Dillos with pick number 5. Gurin Voodoo, starting pitcher, Gurin Voodoo. So that's already, I think, 3 starting pitchers off the board here. So teams very clear what their focus is going to be heading into this season. Next up is the slightly new rebranded Ranas. I'm not sure. No, this wouldn't be their first pick as a franchise, right? That would have been last year. So, yeah, we'll head into this. Pick number 6 is Yaj Otov. So I'm assuming that is Joey Votto backwards. A relief pitcher, AU Gold. I think everyone knows who that is. If you don't, you just need to listen to a couple of streams. He's one of our top streamers / I think one of the co-heads of it. So that alone is worth its weight in gold. Of course, like everyone's saying, fantastic render. That one is done by Sarah. So props for that. Looking for this one. AU Gold is someone we value very highly with regards to experience and activity. We are super happy to make our first pick with our new regime here in Puerto Rico. Oh, there you go. Though talks with him seems like he's someone who's willing to do whatever the team needs. Whatever? I mean, for the right price, I bet you AU Gold is. Pitching is something we desperately need, having a few pitchers getting called up, and we feel we have gotten our bullpen star with this pick. We expect to see him come in and have an early impact with his great circle change and movement. Next up is the Hepcats with easily, even though I've never been a Hepcat as a minors team, but easily one of the best logos in the league. If you don't agree, I'll meet you out back by the school flag and we can throw down. So for the 7th overall pick, Lenny, extra short, long pipe, catcher, user. You know, we didn't even need to see the username. It's just some scrub. No, it's my boy, Big Blue. I mean, pretty much, I think this is the winning pick here of the draft. No bias whatsoever, but clearly the best pick here. Hepcats win the draft. Everyone can go home. No more to see here. The Hepcats are proud to select Lenny Long. Ooh! Okay, I gotta say it, folks. So I got the blurb from the GM on this. They spelled his name wrong. They select Lenny Longmire. We might need to check the draft sheet. Maybe they picked the wrong person. With the 7th overall pick, we are happy to bring a former Hepcat back in the family. He's projected to play like longtime Hepcats catching legends Neil Lavoie and Dustin Johnson. Moving on, we have the Swifties up. Everyone's favorite meme team, I think. Though that would be a close one with the Dills, I think. I think those two would definitely fight it out for the crown. With the 8th overall selection, the Swifties select Scoony McSticks, 3rd base, user G2019. So from the GM, with our league-leading offense getting hollowed out by a call-ups this offseason, we are looking to add batters who are Discord active. G2019 is a known quantity there as he was a star with the Swiftie on his first player and quickly rose to take the co-GM job. We're stoked to bring him back. Moving on, Wheelie Boys with pick 9, and they select Justin Justice, 3rd base, FUNNYMANLUKE. That's some intimidating pointing there. Definitely letting you know he's arrived. I'm not sure what the bracelet is. Maybe it helps strengthen his wrists for when he swings the bat, but definitely gonna have some intense anime off-season training to get ready for this year. And then last, but certainly not least, it's exactly where you'd actually want to be in the first round, because generally it means you won the title. It's the Firehawks. I'm just waiting for the kakakakas in the chat. But with the 10th overall pick, the Firehawks select Stellan Apollo, 3rd base, user the 5-Uriel. Stellan Apollo was a name that jumped out to Sloth immediately. Knowing them from other leagues and after his initial conversation, we chatted a little more and I came to realize that this was a serious future superstar. In talking with others that knew them, I realized that they were going to be a popular pick, and I figured we wouldn't get a chance. However, with all the recreates, they managed to somehow fall to us, and we swooped in immediately. I couldn't be happier, and we suspect we just drafted the next Firehawk superstar. That's going to do it for the first round for us. We're up to the second round. And as we can see, we definitely had a couple trades going on as the Ranas double dip in this round. But the Mingos are back on the clock. For the first selection of the second round, Florida selects Carter King, relief pitcher, user KHKREATOR. This graphic was done by Sonic Gmail, another member of the graphics team. Give him props where we need it. So for this one, the last time we picked a closer with as much promise as Carter King, we came home with a ring. He might be an untested talent, but he's determined to be the best and won't settle for anything less. The Flamingos are hoping to work with King to develop him into the star closer he aspires to be. Moving on, the Brew City Bears are back on the clock. And with their pick, Brew City selects Kyle Stogowski, right fielder, Jaster. From the GM, Kyle Stogowski will have some giant shoes to fill for the Bears, replacing the Bears hitting legend Dustin Stradley in right field this season. Sagowski will be able to add to the speedy Bears outfielders right off the bat. And coming from Connecticut, he will be able to adjust to the colder opening month of the season in Brew City. Lemurs back on the board with the third selection in the second round. The Lemurs select Caesar Azouge. Caesar Azouge. That's what I'm going to go with. Relief pitcher, user, Mr. Stennett. It's actually been a while since we've seen Stennett around, so he makes a triumphant return. Low-key recreate for some people, but a well-known user for those who've been around for a while. So grabbing that player right there. Kingpins back on the board. It's their second pick. First of the second round, only of the second round. And the Kingpins select Leonidas Honor. Relief pitcher, user DJ Honor. I definitely saw him in here. I mean, at the very least, he may not be as intimidating as some of the other players' renders, but that stash alone would be enough to distract any batter with its pure magistry. Next up comes the Dillos. They select no one, because there's a trade. The Dillos trade the Florida third and the Chicago third that they had held, and the Kingpins received the 15th overall pick. So the Kingpins are back on the clock. And with this newly acquired pick, the Kingpins select Evan Beeler, starting pitcher, user EB14. That is quite the flow to go with the, like, definitely coming in like Amish beard. That is quite the eclectic mix there. So I mean, and those brows are intense. Like, that's going to be some pure distraction, I think, for the batters. So it's going to be able to sneak in some change-ups there, I think, with extra efficiency. Next up is the Ranas. They select no one, because we have another trade. So this is a doozy. I guess the thing we can point out first is Jethro Thull was picked third overall this draft, and he's already been traded. So I apologize. I believe that was KC. I know you might have been hyped to go to one team, but surprise, you're a Firehawk. So the Ranas received a first rounder from California next season, a second for the season after that, and the third a season after that. Firehawks received Jethro Hall, a player to be named later. We can see some condition with the player to be named later. And then a third from Puerto Rico. And the Lemurs received 16th overall, James Gordon, and a second rounder for next year. So California burning all the picks to get the player that they needed. So we did have a blurb from this from California. So California was heartbroken to see KC recreate Jethro Thull taken ahead of them at 3 overall. But it was not at all surprised to see them taken early, considering how fantastic a user KC is. And their last player, Gustav Beauregard, is one of the greats of all time in the PBE. Began working the lines as soon as they were selected, and it wasn't until the second day of the draft that we were able to get something done, when the Ranas stepped up to help facilitate. Ultimately, it would hurt a lot seeing James Gordon go, who has been a key player for the Firehawks the last 2 seasons, but ultimately feel that we worked very hard here to make the trade happen. It'll be beneficial for everyone involved, and are pleased as punch to bring the former California GM back home where he belongs. I feel like I should play that song, Coming Home, I'm Coming Home. Tell the world I'm coming home. But then I think there would be no audio for anyone who couldn't watch this. Anyways, moving along here. So, big time trade. But this means the Lemurs are now picking. So, moving on to their pick. They select 250. Relief pitcher J2233. I think at this point we've realized how incredible the graphics team is, and they know the right times to make the right meme graphics. I don't think it gets much better than that. I really hope that 250 is actually an American-born player, because if not, then maybe we need to change the currency. You know this is a Sarah graphic, 100%. Moving on, next is the Hepcats back on the board, and with their pick, they select Kirby Todd. Third base, user Kirby Todd. So for this one, the 17th overall pick, they were proud to select Kirby Todd. The future home run champ, there is a lot of weight in his shoulders, is a power hitter capable of playing first or third. He is a throwback to former Cats third baseman Jacob Minion. Swifties back on the board. So with the 18th overall pick, the Swifties are going to select Aaron Ford, shortstop. User AFord9910. Swifties GM had this to say: bringing active first-gen users is important to minors teams, and I had a nice chat with Ford during the scouting process. We're excited to add a player with this level of power to our lineup. So with the 19th overall selection, the Anchorage Wheelers select Del Taco, left fielder, user Griff001. Wheelers adding some outfield depth in this one. Be interesting if the renders actually were what they were used in OTP, as we had a taco with a glove sticking out of it, running around on the field. Could make things more entertaining, but also could make people really hungry if they were watching the stream. And then the Ranas, after making some wheelie and dealie, are going to pick here to end out the second round. And the Ranas select Hatsu Keoru. I probably butchered that last name. It's probably like 3 syllables or something. Hatsu Keoru. Position left fielder. User Nyler the Phoenix. There he is in chat. Congrats to you. As he gets to fill the outfield. I feel like we've had a lot of pitchers and outfielders this time around. Wonder how many are going to get tossed around in the minors. 2 different positions. I guess we'll find that out. That's going to do it for the second round. As we move into the third, we can see that this is dominated by 2 teams pretty heavily, as the Dillos and Hepcats are going to be on the clock a lot for anyone waiting to get selected still. So first up is the Dillos. They're going to select Alejandro Ortega, second base, user OCTOPUS. So we see an infield taken here for the Dillos, as they try to get some gems here late. Next up is the Brew City Bears, and they select Ryan MOFFITT, relief pitcher, user Rue. So for this pick, Brew City had this to say: Ryan MOFFITT will be able to fit right into the Bears relievers and shore up a corpse that lost Delete the Index to the Voyagers. Moffitt is a big righty from Tennessee that might throw some junk, but he's going to get you out with his fastball, curveball, and changeup. The Bears are thrilled to have him! Exclamation mark. Here come the Hepcats once again, as they are on the clock. And with their pick, they select Les Harm, relief pitcher, user Frostus. Quite the pitcher there. As that's Ryan Gosling, rocking the like 2000s high school look. So for this, they had to say, at 23rd overall, we are proud to select reliever Les Harm. The future closer is a dynamic arm that we are proud to add to the organization. He projects to perform like former release ace Big Sexy. The Dillos with back-to-back picks are up. So they select William Tarbox, right fielder, Willie Foror. Adding pretty much positional depth almost everywhere. Trying to plug all the holes here with their picks in the third round. Dillos are up again, and they select Quindale Dingle, first base, user Quindale Dingle. Won't be hard to search their profile, as that's definitely a screenshot of something. I'm not sure what that's from, but it'll do. Rana's back in the board in the third round, and they're going to select Kareem Fakir, relief pitcher, Seoman as the user. The Rana's colors are like weird, man, but like they just kind of like work, but they pop there. As we see another pitcher taken, as they're just always a hot commodity there in the minors. So everyone trying to fill the starting lineup and the bullpen as well. Hepcats back in the board. They select Homer Ruth, shortstop, user ICEWATER cap. As I didn't. That's Babe Ruth, right? Like, I won't lie, I'm not like great with some of the baseball greats. That's Babe Ruth, right? I didn't realize how like big the dude's nose is. That guy could sniff out any problem, I would think. And maybe Homer Ruth is going to be more agile than we think playing at shortstop. Oh, sorry, we had a blurb about that. I have two more left. At 27th overall and the potential steal of the draft, the Hepcats select Homer Ruth, the versatile infielder will likely play on the left side of the Kansas infield, and we feel he will be a future star that the teams will regret passing on. Taking shots with the drafty recaps here. I know who Babe Ruth is. I couldn't like see a picture of him and be like, that's Babe Ruth. Give me a little more credit. I know who these people are, just like I haven't visually memorized what they look like. Swifties are back on the board. 28th overall. They select already retired second base user Shaquille. For this, the GMs had to say, already retired Shaquille, legendary Swiftie, steal of the draft. What more needs to be said? I mean, look at that build. Incredible. Wheeler is back on the clock here with the 9th pick of the third round as we are dwindling down here to the end. We'll see is anyone waiting to be picked here on the board. Cole Kim, catcher, user AW13. I didn't even know AW was in this draft, and my lord, he was on the board for quite a while. I wonder if there's some kind of like he's not planning to be as active or something. But that's crazy he went this low. I mean, Wheeler's are going to get a steal. I think he'll hit cap for minors. Oh, he'll be down for one season. Okay, must have missed that media. Firehawks back on the board after their big trade. Aaron, catcher, user, Aaron. So, yeah. Well, if it's going to be AA Ron, you need to space it out there. You can't just put all the text together. You can't blame you for that. I know what the skit is from. I'm just saying. If you're gonna be AA Round, you gotta spread it out. But AA Round is selected and looks to be the catcher for the Firehawks. Maybe the future catcher for KC after the big trade. And does that do it? Give me 1 second here. As yes, that does conclude the slide. That was the last pick. There is no one left to select here. So that is going to conclude the draft. I don't know who's watching. If any of the GMs want to come on and just chat for a bit, we've got some time here. I'm in the stream channel of the main Discord. Not sure if it's just the streamers have access to that, but if not, yeah, that stream went quickly. It's like, you know, the minors are, like I said, they're big deal. Like you definitely should get hype about it, but it's harder to be like, oh, this person's really going to slot into this point, because I mean the overturn is so fast that it's kind of hard to be like, oh, these are key picks. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think that is going to do it for us, folks. I know, short and sweet, but it's all been kind of laid out, so now everyone can hopefully get added to their locker rooms if they were patiently waiting. And I mean, that is going to do it for us today. So everyone, thank you so much for joining for the minor stream. Like I said, honestly, if you went in the third round here and you're stressing out about it, seriously don't. Minors are a time for you to get your footing, learn the league. I mean, this is the perfect time. I mean, if you are AA Ron and you're all like, how did I go 30th? I mean, that was the chance. Guess what? You out-earn everyone in front of you, and then you get drafted at like 5th overall for the majors. So there'll be some props for you there. Anyways, you guys have yourself a fantastic evening. And definitely join your new team's locker rooms. Say hi to everyone and get to know everyone. That'll do it for me. So I will see you guys during the regular season. I believe I'm pretty much every Saturday stream. So I look forward and hope you can join for those. And that is going to do it for today for the draft. So thank you once again. You guys are the greatest. And we will talk to you later.